I think we're at 3. I'm just gonna go live. We're
Yeah,
at
go
3.
live.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a
I'm a
businessman, yes,
businessman.
I'm an
I'm an
entrepreneur.
entrepreneur.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'm a
I'm a
businessman, yes, I'm
businessman.
an
Entrepreneur.
entrepreneur.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Business Zone with
Crystal.
and Gilbert Buchanan, your super consultant, a small business paramedic.
Super consultant, huh?
That means we got superpowers and super information for our audience today.
I
So
love it. I love it. We have to have superpowers. We have to have superpowers in this world that we're living in.
that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So how you doing, Crystal? How has your week been for you?
My week has been good. It's busy, so last Saturday the kids competed and I think I mentioned to you they won. Just it was just so awesome, Gilbert. I can't even tell you how amazing that was. Kids swept it, 6 kids, and in that 6 kids out of 30 businesses, and our kids came in first, second, third, and honorable mention. So I just
Man,
want to.
that is a great accomplishment, Crystal. I think you should give our audience a little breakdown, a little background on what these kids do and why they were so successful. So let the audience know a little
Well,
bit
I'm
about
going to share. First of all, I'm going to share what the kids so that we'll know who they are. Um, I will introduce them to us all, and then I'm going to out what happened in here. What's happening? Hold on a second. Let me get over to the right page. And so the kids, these amazing young people, spent the last 5 months with us. Actually, a little longer. I'm gonna stop the share just for a second so I can get this on
it. Hmm.
full screen because it's not going. There we go. And they just Gilbert. They These were kids from our summer camp, and then they brought some new kids in. So I hope you guys can see them. Uh, so these are the winners of the 2021 Youth Entrepreneurship Challenge. This is a competition that is sponsored by Yank, Vermont Slauson Economic Development Corporation, um, as well as participatory Brotherhood Crusade and the Los Angeles Urban League. And there were literally 41 kids that participated. And our
Hmm.
kids took first place, second place, and third place. And so, first place winner was Winder Chambers. She is the CEO of Gen Z Wealth Developer, which is an app for financial literacy for Gen Zs and younger. So,
That's amazing.
isn't that amazing?
That's
And then
amazing.
we have second place, Amila Charles. She CEO of Curly Crowns Hair Care Product, natural hair care and organic hair care product. We've actually had two of these young people or three of these young people on our show last year, and we'll get them back. But right now they're super busy. And our third place prize was is Christian Lunar, and his Moon Creates. He creates these amazing little concrete bowls, and they're succulent planters. And then we have our honorable mention is Jesus L. He created a platform, or creating a platform or a forum for young people to vent when they're feeling overwhelmed and they don't have anyone to speak with. And then our last two honorable mentions is Cheyenne Jordan and Kennedy Knight. They have a business called 76 Sketch It, and they take and repurpose old T-shirts and make them into purses and bags and other wearable garments. And
Mm-mm-mm.
so these are our kids. They went through an entrepreneur program. They learned how to start a business from scratch, not,
Yeah.
with an idea. We went through the process of teaching them how to make sure there's a feasible business. And then from there, they developed a business and they pitched in this competition. So this is the second competition they pitched in. So the
Mm-hmm.
first prize was $2,500
Yeah.
and the second prize was 1,000. And so
Mm-hmm.
now these kids have monies to put toward their businesses. Now Winter and Amila, it just like this gift just kept giving, Gilbert. So
Right.
they are now in the regional Nifty competition,
Mm-hmm.
and they're with a pot of about 10 grand
Yeah.
for their businesses. So super excited. These
That is
kids are
amazing. That is
just
amazing.
amazing.
And
Just so.
Crystal, after listening to your story and the success of these small businesses, I just want the audience to know that you've been working with these small kids for many, many years now. Every year you launch the youth entrepreneurial program, and you're just there for them. You make these sacrifices. People just don't know the amount of sacrifice that you make for these small young entrepreneurs, and they respect you a lot. They know what you have to offer is great coaching, great guidance, and and knowledge. So for these kids to out of a field of how many were in the field who were competing? How many were there?
There were 41 young people and
Wow.
30 businesses. So
41 entrepreneur and 30
entrepreneurs.
businesses. And Crystal's kids, Crystal and Rhonda, they coach these kids, and they came in first, second, third, and the fourth place is honorable mention. So there are three of them in that position. I just believe, Crystal, this is phenomenal.
Is that
This
not
is
phenomenal?
phenomenal. Yes.
Gilbert and I, Gilbert, we work with kids all the time, right? I mean, we work with adults all the time. And how
Yes.
many adults have started a business and it has taken them 2, 3, 4 years just to get it ready? Because I don't know, they're making it perfect. These
Right.
kids literally had a very short period of time to
Yeah.
put it together. And we only meet with them twice a month. So
Yes.
in that twice a month period, they started it in Biz Camp in the summer, and then they've been working on it. And children today are not like us. We probably had maybe a sport that we participated in, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We then we had homework, right? These kids got homework, they got after school jobs, they have extracurricular activities that they're doing, that band practice, track practice. So in that, all of the stuff that they have to do, they actually put this together, and I am just so proud of them. I'm actually proud of all of the 41 kids that participated, because our kids were great, but the other kids had these amazing business ideas as well.
Yeah.
And it was the judges today, we had a debriefing, and the judges all said that this was hard. These kids they were just hard. It was
They
just
were
a hard
phenomenal.
decision. Yeah.
Yes.
So
I
that was
love it. I
that was
love it. I
my
love
week.
it. Well,
And
well, here's what I also want to do, Crystal. For
what's that?
those kids who came in first, second, and third, here's my contributions to those kids.
Okay.
I would love to offer them, if they haven't already done so, I would like to sit with them and help them to develop their organizational structure, their corporate structure. So I don't know if they already decide they want to do a corporation, an LLC, a sole prop, or whatever. But if they haven't done that yet, I'm willing to sit with them and explain to them the differences between the different structures, which one they may want to use in their business,
Mm-hmm.
and help them to get it set up. I'd love to help them to get it set up. So
Well, I will let me see, my sound is doing weird. I will talk to them. So these kids are coming back in the summertime for the biz camp and the biz
Uh-huh.
institution. So we can actually have you come in and talk to the kids
Oh
about
yeah.
their organizational skills.
Oh yeah. If
Um,
they haven't got it set up yet, I'd love to help them. Make sure if they're doing a corporation, the article of incorporation, the bylaws, their meeting minutes, all of those things are critical to the successful operation of the business. And if it's an LLC, the article of organization, statement of information, all of those things. So yes, I
okay.
I would love to help them.
Well, I will make sure we make that happen. But I cannot tell you how excited we were. These kids are just, it's just phenomenal. It's just there is no other any other words that I can use for what we felt. And today we were doing our briefing, and so one of the other coaches says, "I don't understand." He says he was complimenting how well the kids did. He goes, "I'm not quite sure how I understand how the Urban League kids took all spots. I'm still not sure
so,
about that."
so
But he did
so he's
congratulate us.
he's trying to say it's rigged, right? He's saying it's rigged. It's rigged. See, that's what sore losers always say, man. They always when they lose, they always say the process or the system is rigged.
Yeah, like, what are you talking about? There is nothing rigged. We just did what we did, man, and we just did what we did. So, but I will give it to all of the children. I popped into several of the presentations, and they were good presentations. Our kids, I will say this: our kids actually had they had an edge. They a lot of their businesses were created back in the summertime, and they've just been working on them. And so, but we're so proud of them, Gilbert. I just
Yeah,
want to tell
yeah,
you,
I
we're
hear
just
you, man. I hear you. Well, I can see the proudness on your face, co-host. I can see it, man. And I understand it. So it's well deserved, and just keep up the good job. I can't wait to see what the next batch is gonna be like.
Oh yeah,
Oh
we're
yeah.
excited too. So now that of course, this next back's gotta stand up, boy. They got some big
Oh
shoes to
yeah.
fill, boy.
Oh
Because
yeah.
these
Which is
other ones are
good.
which is good, right? That's
Yeah,
always good
yeah.
to know you have some competition. So
Mm-hmm.
that was the beginning of my birthday, and then
Oh
I spent
yeah.
some time with some friends, and then that Friday night after the show last week, I went and hung out with Tanya Mackey, who had been on the show, and we had a
Yeah.
really good time. So I
Yeah.
can tell you, this has been by far my best birthday, and it was all based upon the children. So last night I was teaching teaching a workshop with the New Business Women's Center,
Yeah. Over at
and we were
Pace.
talking about the powerful why. And I
Mm-hmm.
was telling them, it's very important to be connected to your powerful why and your purpose, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so, the joy that I get in teaching and training and coaching young people and adults is
Yeah.
that's my powerful why for what I do here.
Right. Right.
And that's
Right.
what excites me, and I love sharing the knowledge, and I know you do as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we take this is something important to us.
Oh, for sure.
It's just
For
not
sure.
something we do for a living. It's
Yeah.
something that we really, really are connected and have passion in.
And the amazing thing about this, Crystal, a lot of consultants like us, they go out there and they do this type of stuff, and they're all about money. We're not really about money because on many of these entities, we're not getting paid for it. We're just
Right,
doing it because we love it. We have a passion for it. We're an advocate. We're a small business, an entrepreneurial advocate. So we always want to make sure entrepreneurs and small businesses are guided and coached in the right direction so they don't make the same mistakes that we made coming up.
Exactly. Yeah,
See
and
what
that's
I,
so important. People just don't. And I think we get the accolades for what we do.
yeah,
From our people that have been our clients for years and years and years, and or somebody refers them and they say that you're the best, or like you're the paramedic, and oh
yeah,
yeah, I know Gilbert. It's just all. In fact, so here's interesting and how small this world is, Gilbert.
yeah,
Uh, um, so this is a new class I'm doing with the new business center.
yeah, yeah.
And so there's someone in my class that when I saw her name, I went, wait a minute, this is a friend of Gilbert's. So I have a friend of yours in my class.
Oh my Lord, that's
So
good.
Cecilia Monte.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
yes.
she's working, she has a business, she's working on the wine business.
Oh
Uh,
yes, oh
yeah,
yes.
so she's in the class. She is having a great time.
That is good. That is good, man. She's a good student, and she's also a good support source for entrepreneurs as well. So yeah, yeah, you got a good person there in the class. That's very good. And you and her will really make have a good partnership there because she's good and you're
Yeah,
good too. So
she is really having a good. I mean, she has so many questions, and she says, "Oh, I had to go back to the drawing board yesterday, and I all the stuff, and she's doing the research." So she was thrilled to death yesterday. She was
yeah,
having she was having a good time.
that's
So
great. That's great. I'm glad you guys connected. That's great. That's great. So it sounds like you had a great week there, Crystal.
I
My
did. I
my
had
week is nothing in comparison to yours. Your week was just outstanding and
my
phenomenal.
my week was and it stemmed from what happened on Saturday.
Yeah,
That's the beginning. It was a super
yeah,
busy week,
yeah.
but yeah, it was a notable week, a very
Isn't it
notable week.
isn't it amazing how one event can really set the tone for, the rest of your day, the rest of your week, the rest of your month? Isn't it
Yes.
amazing?
So now I'm all geared up. I'm all excited for the kids coming in. For Biz Camp, we're starting to do some recruiting.
Yeah.
Even some of the other coaches that had their kids in this particular event, now the coaches are saying, "Can we send our kids over to your summer camp?"
I love it. I love it. I
so,
love it.
so that was the best part of
That's
my week.
great.
You know.
Well, I taught a class for the Latino Restaurant Association on Monday,
Okay.
and yeah, I have a small agreement to do some workshops, some online series coaching, and all of that for the restaurant entrepreneurs to try to get them back on track and get them back in the loop because COVID did a number on restaurants.
Yes.
So we're trying to get them back. We're trying to build their back office, get their infrastructure in place so that they can start functioning again. So the class this past Monday was about establishing and setting up your business model. So I was going through, the 9 areas of their business model and showing them little tips and little ways how they can make it work for them and
Hmm.
be very efficient about it. So it was a good class. It was a good class. Get some great participation from the folks. And just so for the folks who are listening to this radio show and this podcast with Crystal and Gilbert, um, with the Latino Restaurant Association, they've got a class. They host a boot camp every Monday at 3 o'clock from 3 to 5, and this is the I think this is the fourth class. Yeah, the fourth
Mm.
class that we're doing. This coming Monday will be the fourth class. So this Monday we're going to do capability statement development. So
Okay.
yeah, we're going to talk about how to develop your capability statement in a restaurant business to reach out and attract new customers or new contract providers to your business. So yeah, it was great. It was a very good session, and I just want all the restaurants in the area who have the time and can do it. Just log in, check it out. Go to LatinoRestaurantAssociation.org and register to be on this show. I mean, to be in the class. and you'll get a variety of information. As a matter of fact, their CEO, Lily Rocha, they've gotten some new funding opportunities from the SBA for restaurants. So
Okay.
yeah, they're sharing that with a lot of the restaurant owners. So if there's any of you out there who really want to get involved, or get some help with your restaurant or your food truck or any type of catering that you may have, you want to reach out to the Latino Restaurant Association. And that's LatinoRestaurantAssociation.org if you want to reach them. Lily Rocha is their CEO, and it's just an amazing program.
Yeah, because so that is the focus. Obviously, one of the other things that took place this week was that we're now the pandemic is not over, but we're now
Mhm.
in the yellow tier, which
Mhm.
means that they're opening up, slowly opening up. With modifications, so and because I think I read, Gilbert, there's like 140 million people that have gotten their
The
across the United States
the
gotten their
vaccine.
vaccine, which
Yeah.
we're still at 40%,
Yeah.
42, 38%. So we still
Yeah.
got a ways to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
But restaurants can now open up
Mhm.
with some modifications. We still
Mhm.
have to wear masks while we're in. They're still on reduced capacity
Mhm.
because we do still have to be careful because there are a lot of variances out there.
Right.
And but get this, my girlfriend was telling me, which is pretty scary. I think I mentioned it to you.
Yeah.
So I don't even understand why this came about, but people are faking the vaccination card.
Oh
So
my Lord. That
so
is
so
ridiculous.
is that not crazy or
That
what?
is ridiculous.
So here you think, and I wasn't thinking that anyway because I'm still gonna be cautious myself.
Yeah.
But people are actually going through the process of faking a card to say they got the vaccine when they didn't get it. What is with crazy? What
That
do
that
they
is
not
crazy,
understand
man.
how serious this COVID is? To and how see, in my case how serious death is, because
Yeah.
that's what I see. Death ain't no joke.
These folks are ridiculous. Now, the county said we're in the yellow, right? And
Yes.
yellow, as we all know, yellow means caution. We need to take caution, right? And none of these folks are taking caution. They think yellow means, hey, go out there and mingle, don't wear your mask, and get into those violate the social distancing protocol. That's what
Yeah,
they're doing.
right.
They
That's ridiculous. It
and
still
and
means
and and now they got those fake cards. It's like going around acting like you're a doctor. Say, hey, I got a card here saying I'm a doctor. Let me work on you. It's
right,
ridiculous.
exactly. No, you have to. No, just the answer is no. It's just no.
It's crazy. It
It's
is crazy,
And I
folks.
guess, and that's what we're going to talk about today, Gilbert. For those of you who are tuning in, you are tuned into the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert, and we're going to talk about the trends and how we open up with caution, but also how all of us have to really realize that the way we did business in 2019 is not how we're going to be doing business for the future. And
Right.
there really should be some major takeaways from the year from 2020, because there are some silver linings and we've been forced to adjust how we do business. And so
Hmm.
people that were really, really resistant to change has had to really stop and think and do things differently if they were
Yeah.
going to survive. And so,
Exactly.
and I think personally that we should be always thinking like that in our businesses. We should
Yes.
always be thinking of what risks are on the horizon, what obstacles are on the horizon, and
Hmm.
how can you create situations and strategies in order to deal with that. We teach that all the time to our business.
Yes, 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 yes. And it should always be thought about and not, not a one-time thing. It's not a one-time thing. It's something that we got to think about at all times and stay contacted with those types of advices and tips that we come across, because you never know when those tips and advices can save your life or your business or provide you an opportunity.
Exactly. Exactly. Because there's been some major I and I don't know about you, but there's some new ways that we're doing business, and I actually kind of like it.
Oh
I
yeah.
like the I like the online training and teaching, and I was already headed in that direction. But when you
Yeah.
really stop to think about it, Gilbert, look
Yeah.
how much driving you actually did
I know.
in order to get all over the countryside,
I know.
and you don't like driving
I
anyway, and then
know.
and and then you had to do the flying if you had to go teach
Oh
it.
my
And
Lord.
remember all of those? Remember all of that?
I remember, man. I had to fly to Vegas every week to teach these workshops, man. I'm going, no. So I am so happy now with this. I mean, I said this over and over that COVID is a is a good thing and a bad thing, you know.
Yes,
It's bad that it killed a lot of people, but it's good
yes,
that it forces us to take a different approach, a different look at life and on the way we do business. It's just unbelievable. So yeah,
it
uh, I'm
is.
I'm always gonna keep those trends and those types of approaches in mind. So did you want to go over some of those new trends and approaches,
Let's
Crystal?
do that. Let's make sure we direct everyone that's listening in to go over to our YouTube channel and subscribe so that you get notifications. We are here
Hmm.
the Business Zone is here every Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock. And if we don't have an amazing guest, then you guys get the privilege of Gilbert and I doing a class in session.
Hmm.
Gilbert actually likes the class in sessions.
Oh yeah, love it.
It is really get to be able to do what we do best, and that's to teach and train and educate and hopefully inspire you. So go on
Hmm.
over to our YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, and make sure you hit the notification bell so that you will be informed of every Friday afternoon when we're on the air. So with that, we want, and also follow us on Facebook and Instagram and our Twitter. Become a fan and jump on into the Business Zone, and
That's
and
right.
and get all this free knowledge that Gilbert and I love
That
dissipate and disseminate
right,
out to you.
right, right, right.
So with that,
Definitely.
Gilbert, guys, we're going to talk today about uh some active, some, what did we call them, some tips and some trends that you actually have been doing. You just might have been resistant to it, but
Yeah.
you've been doing it already. Let me shift so I can get us on right here. So you've been resistant, but what we want you guys to do is to embrace it, because um it's really, really important. And it's not that this stuff is new. This is actually stuff we've been telling you all along. If you knew any of us and any of your business coaches out there, is these are areas that is really making a difference and in how you do business. And let me see. Okay, so
You know what
2020
I'm
was
you know what I'm thinking, Crystal, before you get started on that?
a.
I think one of the trends, the new trends that we should be focused on and talking about is the one that you've introduced 2 weeks ago on this program, the one that you're using, that new phone system that you're using, that I'm so gaga goo goo over right now and want to try. I think you should talk about that, because
Oh,
that's a great way for small businesses to better use their time and be more efficient. So
right, and it was a godsend, because I've been adapting these new trends into my business model, and we're in demand right now, which is fine. It's good to be in demand and good to be loved, but that
Yeah,
requires a lot of phone calling, a lot of talking on the telephone, a lot of
yeah,
navigating between Zoom and all that sort of stuff. So, Gilbert, I was finding that things seemed to be sliding through the cracks, and people were calling me for stuff that I had to take away from whatever I was doing in order to address it. So I
yeah.
was introduced to this amazing system, and it's my virtual receptionist. And the phone number is, and you guys can call this number at 213-458-5952. Now, what happens when you call, it says, I am sorry I can't come to the phone, but however, if you want to speak with me, press 1. If you want some information about or the latest episode of the Business Zone, press 2. If you want a link to the community business briefing that I do, press 3. So it has been absolutely wonderful. If you want to sign up for a class, press 4. If you want whatever you want, sends you over. If you want to be a guest of this show, and we need guests for this month, so if you guys have some great information and want to be a guest on the show, you can call 213-458-5952 and press 4 to get the information and to sign up to be a guest on the show. So, Gilbert, I am excited. I know I referred someone over to you. I think you got an appointment scheduled so they can get you set up.
Oh yeah, we already talked, and I'm loving this system a lot. We went through a lot of exercises. So, the thing that I want to put out there, Crystal, is that we're here on this program. We're talking about tips and trends and how other entrepreneurs can utilize these tips. Well, I want them to know we're using them ourselves. We're using it.
Right.
So so you've started it with that virtual receptionist. I listened to it. I fell in love with it because I'm going, oh my God, I can save so much time. This can be more efficient with my clients. And it's just amazing. So yeah, I would love for them to. And if you guys don't believe the efficiency of this thing, just go ahead and try calling that number right now. 213-458-5952. That's Crystal's virtual receptionist. And just if you want, just listen to all the options, and then you can, press one of the options and see what happens. But Crystal, man, this you found a gold mine for small businesses.
I did, and with our phones, I can just forward. If it's a super busy day and I'm on Zooms all day, I can actually forward my number over to that number, and it just automatically answers it. And I have it scheduled all set up. Also, if I'm busy and it rings, then it goes over there. And Gilbert, I actually, you know how you have the quick messages on your phone when you're on
Yeah,
Zoom and you're telling people to call you back. Now
right.
I set up one that says call this number and get whatever information you need. And if you need to speak to me, then you can also schedule an appointment there. So that just takes out a lot of those extra steps
Yeah.
that really is time consuming when you're running a business.
And many of our small businesses, because they may be sole owners and they don't have time to do some of the other stuff, this would be perfect for them because then they don't have to worry about manning the phones and doing all of that. They can work on doing other things or generating new business for the company instead of having to handle certain calls. I mean, the clients are going to be going to be handled properly anyway from that virtual assistant because you have it set up where they can get the information they want so quickly.
So quickly. A
Yeah,
link goes out to them. A notification comes to me so that I know that it's actually working, and
yeah,
it's just exceptional. I am very, very pleased with it, and I'm glad that you are seeing the benefits of it and get all set up. So it actually this week I felt like I could breathe and I
yeah,
wasn't having to do the little bitty tiny things. Not that I don't love to do that for you guys.
yeah.
It's just sometimes it's extremely time consuming. Hey, Stephen, how are you? It's extremely time consuming, and we need to, You just need to streamline some stuff. So it's working for me. So
Yeah.
with that, that's the beginning of one of those type of e-commerce kind of things. And this is what I'm going to be particularly interested in, because we always talk about those multiple streams of revenue, right, Gilbert?
Yeah.
So this program is also, and it has an affiliate program to it. Gilbert has a program that is an affiliate program. So if you're looking for ways to bring in multiple streams of income, you want to be able to target some of those programs that have affiliations that you're going to refer out anyway. So you might as well get some money from it.
Yeah. Definitely.
That's what I say.
Definitely. Definitely. I totally agree. 100%.
100%. So
Yes.
now let's kind of go into some of the things that we as business owners really have to look at. So 2020 was a rough year for a lot of us. It took us out of our comfort zone. We weren't ready for a pandemic at all.
Yeah.
We were just not ready.
Some of us didn't even know what a pandemic was.
Well, that's because we had not had a pandemic since 1914, and so a lot of us weren't even here, Gilbert.
Yeah. Some of us going, upon what? Upon who?
The thing that, and I had someone tell me last week, she calls it the lost year.
That's true.
Completely lost year. 2020 was a lost year. But we learned we had to become very adaptable.
Yeah.
We had to become very flexible. We had to be able to embrace and adopt new ideas. And for a lot of us, most of us, we had to create new opportunities to be able to develop a new business model. Because you know how hard it is for people to develop a new business model.
Oh, yeah.
And so the pandemic actually put us in a position where we had no choice. We had to do that. And so... So on that note, those are one of the good things I think about pandemics, and we had to really look about redefining our business model and being able to offer more virtual offerings, online classes, and things like that. And most of us really, people think that you and I and other people like ourselves, we just been using Facebook, using Zoom was a regular part of our practice. It really wasn't. How often did you use Zoom?
Oh, I never used it much at all before. I mean, I may have used it once in a blue moon, but now it's like every day, every single day.
Exactly. I mean, I have now, Gilbert, I use Zoom for one-on-one consultations.
Yeah.
I use it to educate. I need it to train.
Yeah.
If you know how sometimes when you're talking to a person and you really need to really illustrate, now you just go straight to, you can share your screen. And I know that's been wonderful for Small Biz Pro.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So that's part of that e-commerce world, being able to sell what you were doing, being able to sell it online now. And so everyone should really be thinking about, how do I sell my products or my service or online? How do I create a revenue stream that's a virtual offering and be able to sell that product without having to travel all over the place in order to do it.
And what I would recommend to our audience out there is just try to come up with at least 3 additional revenue streams that you think you can add to your product or your service offering. Just work on 3 of them. One of them could be, like Crystal say, an affiliate program. Maybe you want to offer an affiliate program to what you do. The next one may be to form strategic partnership with other organizations. Or if you're in the food and restaurant business, you could start developing merchandise that you want to sell, merchandising with, Gilbert's restaurant or Gilbert's cookies or whatever, that type of thing. So just think about different ways that you can come up with other lines of revenue for your business.
I completely agree. And so one of the things that people were found out quick and fast and in a hurry was that if I only had one revenue stream, that one dried up, then what I was completely at the mercy. And so if you had other streams that could address some pain points, and that's your favorite thing is
Yeah,
what are the pain points out there,
yeah,
then now you were able to generate revenue. So that's a silver lining for me. That's what I call my COVID silver linings. Is
yeah, yeah.
it really helped me move things quicker and faster than I had actually anticipated.
Yes, yes. I
Yeah.
agree. I agree.
So the next one is now this one is now I have always been a very personable person in my business. I like to develop relationships with my clients and my customers. But I found, and one of the trends to the future of how you're going to do business is that you become more personal with your
Hmm.
clientele
Hmm.
and your businesses that you're doing business. So
Yeah,
now we're having closer conversations. It's not just a quick little jot of an email.
yeah,
Now we are actually offering more human touch
yeah,
to that process, right? Making
yeah,
sure that, and we also are understanding that everybody's situation is very unique during
yeah,
this time.
yeah.
um, I think people were losing family members and loved ones, and
Hmm.
just very stressful. It has been very stressful, and being able to offer those condolences, being able to reach out to your customers during their time of need,
Yeah,
has been really probably a godsend for them, and I know for me it has been. So one of the benefits of COVID was that we should adopt that and take that into the future. We shouldn't just
hmm,
leave that because that
right,
was a special time during that time. We
right.
should be thinking, how can we continue that kind of relationship with our customers in the future?
And I know a lot of people really, really want to leave COVID behind and nothing reminding them of COVID, but I really want them to think about this. Think about how it has changed you as an entrepreneur, the business owner. How has COVID changed you? Because the personal touch that you just mentioned, Crystal, a lot of us were not doing a lot of that personal touch before. But now with COVID, we now recognize that, hey, we got to reach out and touch our customers, reassure them, make them feel like we're there for them, and we're going to provide constant support so they can stay with us, and also they can get that personal attention they need, which will blossom into them telling other customers about your service. So I think this is good. I think this is good.
And they'll go away going, wow, I was having a rough day, and I talked to my coach today, and I just came away feeling so much better
Yeah.
than I did. And sometimes we couldn't really do that when we were doing that in person. We were running in real quick, we quick meeting, because now we got to drive to another location. We're
Yeah.
more relaxed because we're
Yeah.
sitting here in our own homes,
Yeah.
and we can that feeling can now be translated and related to our customers. So
Yes. Yes.
hopefully you guys have created a bridge to retain your customers and adopt this same methodology and move it into your business and make it part of your new business.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So we talked about e-commerce, we talked about personalization. Now the other part is the being remote. So everybody right now is remote. Now I read there are actual who is it? Chase has commanded all of their employees to be back at work by I want to say June 1st, and they
Really?
are like, "Oh no, what are you talking about?" And they had to shut down the internet there. You know how they have that internal
Yeah.
internet?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
had to shut that down because people were like, "Why are we doing this? Why?" Why do we
Wow.
just not stand like we are? What is the problem?
Wow. That yeah, it's gonna be tough to get back into that office environment because a lot of people, I must say, a lot of people are being even more productive at home. And we've done a study when I was in grad school, Crystal,
Uh-huh.
we did some studies, and one of them is a study that we did. It's called like a fishbowl experiment, right?
Okay.
And one of the things that we found out is that when people are working from home or they're working in remote areas, they tend to be more productive than when they're at work in the workplace.
Yeah.
Because in the workplace, a lot of people tend to goof off, to waste a lot of time talking to other employees, not doing their job. But when you're away, it's like the boss expects you to goof off. So you're trying to prove to that boss that, hey, I'm not really goofing off. I'm doing work here, and I can verify that the
Yeah.
work I'm doing is quality work. So
Mm-hmm.
in that experiment, we found that people who work at home or remotely tend to be a lot more productive.
I completely agree because I probably get a lot more. Well, I've always got a lot more work done, but I don't. I think it was more the micromanaging from the business owners. They needed to
Yeah,
see you to make sure
yeah,
that you were working, and I
yeah,
think it was is coming more from them. I did hear that SoCal Gas,
yeah.
they actually have given up their office suite. They
Oh,
will
really?
permanently stay at home.
Oh my Lord, that's amazing. That's a bold step. That's a bold move right there. That is bold. That is bold.
Yeah, they're going to permanently stay at home, and everything is going to be remote. It has worked for them. Like you said, they probably were far more productive than
Yeah,
they were before. And I've always said when I worked in corporate America, and when I was making my transition, and I was taking my employer with me as a client, one of the things I said to them, I gave them a whole rendition or a whole outlook on what a employee's day looks like. I mean, you
yeah,
come into the office, you get your coffee, you wander around, and you say hello to all of the bodies, your friends, and whoever. Then you
yeah,
come over and you start to work, and you work for about an hour, and then you go take that mandatory break because you got to take
yeah,
that mandatory break,
yeah,
and then you might be gone for 10, 15 minutes. By the time you leave the office, go downstairs to the coffee shop, come back,
yeah,
walk and do whatever you do, that you didn't burn up 20 minutes. Then you come back and you work for another couple hours, and you got lunch, and then you go and you meander and you be gone. And if you've been there for a long time, you don't come back from lunch right away.
right. Yeah,
Then you come back and you got three, yeah, you get your 3 o'clock mandatory break. So you got to take that 3 o'clock, and you may be gone for 15, 20 minutes. And by the time you get back to your desk, and then it's 4, then you
yeah,
blow off steam looking
mm,
at your social media and your
yeah,
calendar and doing all
yeah.
that. So in that time frame, you literally have worked 5 hours.
Exactly. Exactly. That is so true. And that's the kind of thing that I'm trying to say. And that's what our study found out, that people who are in the office, they tend to be exposed to all of those kind of goofy stuff. Even though at home, you got your pets, your kids, and all of those things. But in the back of your mind, you're thinking, man, I gotta show proof to the boss that I'm working, I'm producing. Because
Right.
I remember when I was at LACCD as a consultant, they would allow us to work from home like one day a month or something like that. But
Hmm.
we had to show proof of our work, so we had to document what we did within that 8 hour, and what we did within that 8 hour has to show some level of increase or enhance productivity, so that the woman who was supervising us will feel comfortable that we did do some work. So I think the stress was more on us when we were working from home than when we were in the office.
Right, exactly. So now people are learning that is a different, it's different now. So now
Yeah.
we were forced to do that, and they're seeing in some cases, it depends on the industry, that their customers are being remote, and the employees being remote, and the customers are being remote. Then more is getting done, and more people are being
Yeah.
addressed and dealt with. So for those of you that are employers, if you have that type of business where you can and relinquish some of that micromanaging and
Yeah.
empower your employees, you a happy employee is a happy business.
Yeah. you, I'm looking at some statistics here, and this is from the US Census. It says 90% of remote workers plan on working remotely for the rest of their careers.
Yeah.
90%. So what you just said, Crystal, about the gas company and people, not gas company, but is it Chase
You know,
Bank?
well, Chase was like they're demanding that their people come back.
Right, right. So
Yeah,
Chase Bank, their people, their happiness level of their employees are going to go really, really down right now
yeah.
because,
The morale is going to
yeah,
go down, and you also have to be when we're looking at that now. We have to look at, is it safe for me to be in the office, right?
right,
So
right,
you got to spend a lot more money making sure it's safe, because we're not out of this pandemic. So
yeah,
just something to think about. The next area or trend that everyone needs to do, and I know this is a dreaded one for most people, is making sure that you are building a thriving online community, meaning
uh-huh,
that you're using your social media in order to communicate with your customers, your LinkedIn, so that you can create a thriving community within the business professionals that are out there. Now, I have gotten, and I don't know about you, Gilbert, but I have
uh-huh,
had some amazing people that have reached out through LinkedIn, and that I've developed relationships with, that would not
right.
have happened if we had not been in this space.
Right. And I think I could have developed a lot more relationship with my LinkedIn network, but I just I just don't check my LinkedIn. I don't check it at all. No, I'm sure people are reaching out to me and saying some good things to me, but I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Right. So being, making sure we incorporate, that's something, and you're not the only one. There's a lot of people having struggles. I guess for me, because I do all the marketing of the shows and everything in
Yeah.
those platforms, then I'm always there, and I'm getting my notifications, and so I've been able
Mhm.
to develop. We've had some great guests that have come from um from LinkedIn. And so it's been pretty awesome. So this is for everyone as you are moving forward in this new hybrid world that we're working in, that you really truly want to be able to use this time to create a thriving online community, because these are some great opportunities that will be available to you, and potentially some partnerships that will be out there for you.
Right,
So,
right, right. So I just put up a link in the chat so you guys can really check it out. It's some statistics on working from home. They've got a lot of statistics in there, and some of them are from the Census Bureau. This writer called Sarah Archer, she has written quite a bit about that type of statistics. She's got a lot of solid data about working remotely from home. So you guys can check that out too. I want to say big shout out to Tanya Mackey, who is viewing our show today. Thank you, Tanya, for supporting us.
yeah, Tanya, thank you. We're glad that you're enjoying. Tanya's down she's resting and recuperating right now. She's down at in the beach area, because she didn't taught people how to be wealthy, and she took her own advice. So now she can take time out from the hustle and bustle, where the rest of us have to be here working hard. So
That's what I'm talking about.
so you guys want to take Tanya's y'all want to take Tanya's $9.95 a month class, so you can figure out how you can also be relaxing at the beach. So I'm gonna skip over a couple, Gilbert, and I'm gonna go to one that is near and dear to you, and
Yeah.
that is your unique value proposition. Can you talk to people about that unique value proposition?
Very good. I love that, Crystal. So, as we know in business, in order for clients to be attracted to you or to even want to look at your product or services, you got to be able to solve a pain that they have. And in order to solve a pain, you got to demonstrate that you're going to bring value to them. So, how do you bring value to these customers? To let them know that, hey, you're there in their corner and you can solve them. The value you bring needs to be unique because everybody else can bring some of those values. You got competition out there. They're probably more established than you are, so they can bring some of those values. So you got to make it unique. So here are some of the ways in which you can do that. One, let's look at value proposition, for example. In some types of value proposition that you can provide a client is something that's newness. Bring something new to the marketplace that they haven't seen before. With COVID, we know we got to do things differently, so bring a new approach. um, a price if you can do a cost reduction for them, you can present some level of cost reduction to the way they do business. That's another great value proposition that you can look at. If you can um, if you can talk about um, doing something, providing resources that they never had before, like with Crystal. In Crystal's situation, Crystal has been working with all kinds of small businesses, but she just wasn't able to access the phone when she needed to, when her clients are calling her and asking her valuable questions that they needed answered to on the spot. So now Christian has developed this virtual receptionist program that's really helping her. That's bringing value not only to her, but to her clients, because now the clients are getting a lot of information that they probably wouldn't have gotten on a regular basis because they have to call, wait for her to call back, and all of that. But now they can go directly to the source, get all of that. So those are things. Pricing. If your pricing can be competitive, if you can put your clients on a payment program to make it more affordable to them, those are good things. Now, the one key thing, the unique part of a value proposition that I think work for a lot of clients like myself is if you can offer the client some level of guarantee on your service or your product. So let's say
Mm,
try it for 7 days. If you don't like it, then it's free. You don't have to worry about it. If you believe in your product and your services, right? If you believe in it, then you say, go ahead and try it for 7 days. And you will see people try it and they'll see the value. They'll get the value out of it. And they go, you know what? I want this thing. Just going back to Crystal again and her virtual receptionist program. Crystal came to me and said, "Hey, I'm using this virtual receptionist program, Gilbert. I want you to check it out and see if you like it." I checked it out and I go, "Wow, I love this thing." So now immediately I'm going to go subscribe to that program. So that's the same thing that you do with your clients. You offer them something and you give them a time frame and you guarantee that, hey, if it doesn't work, you'll either get your money back, or there'll be no cost, or there'll be a reduced cost. That will force people, well, I don't want to say force, but encourage people, our
mm-hmm.
customers, to want to do business with you. So you want to make your unique proposition, your value proposition, unique. You remember Domino's, and this is the last example I want to use. Remember Domino's back in the day when they used to offer when they sell their pizza, they said, "Hey,
Mm-hmm.
if the pizza is not delivered in 30 minutes or
Oh
less,
yes,
then it's free." That's a value proposition right there. You see what I'm
right.
saying? I mean, that's a unique selling proposition. So they're saying if you don't get that pizza within 30 minutes, then it's going to be free. A lot of us say, okay, let's see. Let's see. So you put them to the test. You put them to the test, right?
Right.
So it's the same thing with you. You want to do the same thing with your clients and say, hey, if this doesn't work, I'll give you the first month free or whatever, something to that effect. Those unique selling proposition works for you. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. I hope it
And
works.
that's so important, guys, because I tell this to my new business owners, my startup business owners all the time. No matter what business you're in, it is not something brand new unless you've created some disruptive type of thing. But if you've created some disruptive, then you're in a world of your own, a league of your own anyway. But most of us have businesses that other people are doing the exact same business.
Yeah.
Gilbert and I are both business coaches, but we have our own style and
Yeah.
we have our own expertise in subject matter expertise. But
Right.
he delivers it one way, I deliver it another way. We have a network of individuals that are business coaches as well. Gloria Durham is on, and she's part of the Legacy program. She's a coach, but we're not, and she and I are kind of in the same area. We work in the finance area, but she talks about pricing. She focuses more on that. I'm
Yeah.
more on the structural part of it. So,
Right.
um, but we all do business differently. So you want to be able to set yourself apart from other people that are doing the same thing and offering that unique value to your particular customer. And the reason you want to do that is because we're going to jump backwards and say, then they're going to provide you with fantastic reviews, fantastic referrals, and um, you're going to really grow your business by that word of mouth, which
Yeah.
is an excellent way, because one of the best things I find about word of mouth, Gilbert, is
Hmm.
uh if they know my pricing, they
Yeah.
understand how I do business,
Yeah.
that individual is going to relay that to that person that
Yeah.
they're making the referral, and that makes it that much easier for me when it's
Hmm.
time for me to meet you. They
Yeah.
already have some idea of how I do business. And
Right.
so that everyone wants referrals and reviews. And that's one of the things in COVID. We should be really encouraging people to provide reviews for us. I had to buy a new set of tires this week, and I was looking around. And as a woman, you go to a mechanic shop, you just know they about ready to take you, or as
Yeah.
Gilbert says, they about ready to jack you the minute you
Yeah.
hit the door. And
Yeah.
so we're always leery as women, and any woman that's listening on on getting our cars repaired. So when I drove up, I saw that there were women coming in by themselves without their husbands or their mates. That's like, oh, that's a good sign. And they didn't look like they were about ready to chew somebody's head off. So I was like, that's another good sign. And then I saw men as well. Hey, Greg, I saw men as well.
Hey,
And
Greg.
so and I felt comfortable. They did a fantastic job. I got a
Yeah.
great deal on my tires.
Right.
And so one of the things they asked me when I left, can you go on Yelp? We don't do anything else. We are not going to try to pre-sell you anything. Just go on Yelp and tell them about your experience.
Yeah.
So
And you know what's amazing, Crystal? One of the easiest value proposition that you can give to a customer is to educate them. Educate them on the process. Because I'm sure, Crystal, when you went to go get your tires done, if that representative had educated you about tire, I don't know if he did or not, but if he educated you about tires and say, hey, this is 165, this is 145. Here are the difference. In snow, this one performed this way. In water, this one performed this way. In a dry condition, if they give you those kind of the knowledge and information on the product itself, that will make you feel better about doing business with them because you're going, wow, they're educated. They're telling me stuff I didn't know. So that within itself is a value proposition right there.
exactly. And Greg says she went there to be retired. Greg is so funny. Greg says it's a shame how mechanics rip off unsuspected women, and it does happen. You
Oh
go there,
yeah.
and they're telling you the oh my God, if you don't do you need new tires,
Oh
you need
yeah.
new brakes. you knew the new differential. You don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
And if you drive off of here, you're gonna die on the next block, and there you go. You're spending tons and tons of money. But
Yeah.
these guys were very honest, and they were very kind. And
Yeah.
so I will go back and
Yeah.
I will refer them. This was I went to American Tire Depot, and they were awesome.
Yes. And
It,
to me, that's the best value proposition out there because you can reduce a price, you can do all of those things, you know, money back guarantee, all of that stuff. You can do that. But the knowledge, the information that you get on a product or a service from a consultant or a service provider, that is priceless.
Yes, exactly. That is absolutely priceless. And then if you have, and especially as a female, I don't know how you guys do it, but we're gonna run tell everybody. Somebody says, "Oh, I got to go get new tires." Oh, you need to go over there because they were awesome. That was a good experience. So
Yeah.
that's what we want to create in our businesses
Yeah.
is to make sure that we are providing our customers and our clients with oh, Greg is hilarious.
Hey, Greg. Hey, Greg, is this your business plan? Greg is offering a business plan to rent a husband for women who don't want to go to the mechanics by themselves.
and Greg is he's not too far off because when I'm looking for a mate, that's one thing that they don't have to do too much else. If they will take the car and service it and make sure it is in the condition that it's supposed to be in, I'd marry him tomorrow, Greg. That is my area.
Thank you, Tanya. Tanya said, Gilbert, you really helped me value proposition education. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
So important. And you're absolutely right, Greg. That would be a good business. Rent a husband to take your car to the mechanic. Yeah, women would be willing to invest in that particular business. I think that's an excellent business. The next one and our last one for today is there you go, Tanya. Good business is one of the things that we had to learn during this last year was that we had to increase our
tech
savviness, right?
Yeah.
We had to learn how to do some things ourselves because a lot of our resources were no longer available to us, and so Zoom was one. I can't tell you how many people had to learn how to use Zoom. And then you had to do some new platforms. One of the best courses that I took in the very first part of the year last year was really how to be media ready for all situations. It was a 12-week course I took. It was a great deal, and I learned a lot. And since that time, I actually been able to take those skill sets, and I've made money teaching that to other people.
Yeah.
So it's been helpful. So being tech savvy, Greg had to learn a whole lot. I think he built his website. He done a whole lot in the tech world.
See, I'm laughing, Crystal. I'm laughing because I was watching, I think it was on TV. I was watching it where this attorney had to go to court, but they're doing it virtual, right? So he's on Zoom. He's on Zoom, and then I guess there are certain filters on it that make your face look like a cat or a dog or whatever. So he had a filter on there where he looked like a cat, and he's pitching his case to the judge, and the judge, oh, wait a second, is this a serious case or not? This attorney, he didn't know how to take the filter off because he wasn't tech savvy.
Right.
So the judge said, you know what? I'm gonna have to postpone this case because you don't seem like you're ready, and you got to get that filter off, sir, or otherwise I'm gonna rule against you.
See, tech savviness. Tech savvy. Or what about the guy forgot that he had the camera on, got up and had no pants on? becoming tech savvy was something that was vital, but so many people were resistant to that, right? So
Yes,
you had
yes.
to learn. And what about the people who would forget to turn off the mic, the mute button, and they're over there crunching and
Yeah,
calling and yelling and
yeah,
cursing each other out?
yeah, yeah. See, and that's the thing too. A lot of these technology features are so simple, but because people don't really try to learn and understand it, then it seemed like a big old challenge, a big old barrier to them, like it's a mountain to climb, and they don't really know what to do. You know,
Exactly.
even I remember when we were broadcasting out of Morris Media Studios, right? I didn't know how to broadcast live on Facebook. I didn't know how to do it. And
Right.
you've been showing me, Crystal, all along. You're the one who guided me and say, "Hey, this is what you do. This is how you do it on your cell phone." And I finally got it, you know?
Yeah.
so so sometimes it's a simple process. It's just a simple process.
And those processes are really really important. Gloria just said I am currently providing feedback to a woman who is creating a new website for me. I just reminded her that I do not see my value proposition reflected. Thank you for the reminder.
You're welcome, Gloria. You're welcome anytime. That's what we do for small business. And just remember this: a lot of what Crystal and I are talking about on here, most of you guys have heard it before in some shape or form. But what we're doing is reminding you, just like you said, Gloria. We're reminding folks. We're reminding folks that
Reminding folks.
yeah, these are things that you need to embrace or look at or revisit.
Yeah, exactly. And a takeaway is definitely this increase. So I hope everyone has embraced in their tech savviness that they've acquired over this last year. I know it was a struggle, but now be be excited about that and how you can now and look at some other areas to increase your tech savviness using graphic programs to put out some nice professional looking flyers to go as Gilbert said on Facebook and post. I challenge all of you guys to do that because it really helps. And somebody asked me yesterday, someone asked me to come in and talk about social media marketing
Right,
um, in a mastermind class, and I
right.
was telling them, and I know Gilbert for you, and I know this has helped for me.
Yeah.
Podcasting has been awesome for us,
Oh yes.
right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because people get to see you do what you do, be able to talk about your expertise and your knowledge and your information, and they start to value your opinion,
Yeah.
and they may not see that when they're working with you, right?
Right,
But
right,
this
right.
way, we're talking to other people and
Yeah.
sharing, and at the same time, it really is marketing your brand.
Right.
Is showing who you are. If you have products and services that you have to highlight, then you can do that in this platform. So it's been excellent for me, and I know a lot of people. Podcasting is that's the
Yeah.
future of marketing. One of the marketing strategies for you.
And they get to see you, you know, how personable you are. They get to see your energy. They get to
Yeah,
see the vibe that you're delivering. You know, it's just live, and it's amazing. So those are some of the key things I think. You know, podcasting, doing these virtual meetings, training sessions, are you know bring great value to a process, a learning process for small business, and also for your customers, for the community.
yeah, exactly. And Greg is adding a new business to me, so he got a name already. Hit Rent a Hubby. So Greg, we will definitely talk online. I like that idea.
Hey, make sure you register it, Greg. Make sure you register it.
Well, he said, "Oh my God, it already exists. Rentahusband.com. See, no unique businesses out there."
That's it, man. Anything we think about, someone have thought about it before in some shape or form. It may not be the exact name, but it may be similar. The theme may be similar. The mission may be similar. The vision may be similar. So
E-
just think about it, guys.
Exactly. So you have to come up with your. We can come up with a different twist
Yeah.
that will work. We have to see how they're doing their business and then be able to put our own twist to it. And they did their franchise. No
Well,
new
folks,
ideas.
I'm hoping that what Crystal and I delivered today is, some level of knowledge, and it helped you out in some kind of way, shape, and form. Our job here is to try to educate, to coach, provide advice, data, information, resource to you as a small business on the business zone. And we're on every Friday from 3 to 4. Sometimes we go a little over because the information is so great and you guys really love what we're doing. So we, give you a little extra. That's part of our value proposition to you guys. Give you that little extra.
Right. And now, Greg, Tanya says women are worthy of wealth will take advantage. Does he want to be a guest speaker on her call? And she
Oh,
actually talks about financial literacy, Greg. So,
oh, there you
Greg,
go, Greg.
if you're interested, I'll make sure you get Tanya's information. Now, mind you guys, Tanya is here supporting the business zone, and she was here last week. But Tanya's down at the oceanfront villas on vacation, enjoying herself. And we're so thankful, Tanya, that you took out time for your vacation to support the business zone.
She's living her best life.
She's living her best life, and everyone should thrive to live their best life. So that's what we're going to leave you guys with for next week. I mean, for today is live your best life, embrace the new changes, create a hybrid environment that's going to work for your new business and how we're going to have to do business in the future. It's no getting around it. We just have to and look for those silver linings that were. I will make sure you get her contact information, Greg. And look for those silver linings that were presented to us and those opportunities, and really look at last year and see what new business opportunities that you can incorporate in your business to create some additional revenue streams so that we can prepare for the next crisis. It is going to come. We just want to be ready for it in the next year.
One of the things as entrepreneurs we should always, always, always look for is when we're faced with a challenge, let's look at it and say, how many opportunities can we get out of this challenge right here? Can we get at least 2 opportunities out of it? The pandemic came, that was awful, it was dreadful. But for most of us, it was an opportunity for us to restructure our business, set up our back office, do business differently, start documenting our paperwork, keeping it in one place so when we apply for grants and loans, then we've got everything at our fingertips. So that was an opportunity out of a challenge. So look at other challenges around you and see what type of opportunities you can draw out of it. Greg Sneed, one of our weekly listeners, he's on the show today. He's listening. And what he's coming up with is a rent-a-husband. He's saying Crystal had a challenge where she went to the automobile repair shop to buy some tires. And, we know that women get preyed on when they go to tire shops or the mechanic to work on their vehicles. So Greg came up with a solution. He said, hey, why not rent a husband, have him go with you and speak on your behalf so the price will be less.
Right. So there you go. And that is a business idea. Now there might be franchise out there, but we just have to make it happen, right? Greg, I'm sending you over there. Now there's Tanya's he said he's a strongly viewer, not a weekly viewer.
I love it. I love it. I love it, Greg. I love it. Greg is our podcast. Our podcast comedian.
Hey Michelle, how are you? Michelle Belmore just came on, and we have who else? Greg and a couple other people popped in. So thank you guys so much for tuning into the Business Zone. Go over to our YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, and you will get a message. You will get a notification when we're going live. Also, subscribe on our Facebook page. You'll get that same message. We usually put the information up a few days before we go on. And mark your calendars, 3 o'clock every Friday afternoon. For the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. You'll get so many nuggets over here, you won't know what to do with them. And when Greg, our strongly viewer, is on, you will get comedy.
So not only are you guys going to get information from Crystal and I, but you're also going to get some comedy from Greg. Okay,
some comedy from Greg. You're right, exactly.
So it's a variety show here, folks. It's a variety show.
So, Gilbert, anything going on next week? Well, tell them about your Small Biz Pro.
Yes, I want you guys to, in the spirit of this pandemic and staying organized, I would like to have you guys go out and use Small Biz Pro. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. I want you guys to go out, sign up with Small Biz Pro, try it out, because you're gonna see how well this thing helps your small business. It organizes your documents. It connects you with contract opportunities in all 50 United States. It also helps you to find grants right at your fingertips. So I want you guys to go ahead and check it out and give me some feedback. Let me know what you think about Small Biz Pro. Gloria, I know Gloria has been using it. Tanya, Tanya is supposed to be signing up and using it too. Give me feedback, guys. Let me know what you think about it. So I just put in the chat, smallbizpro.net/join. It's a free trial. You can go in and try it out. It's for 10 days, and then give me your feedback. Let me know. That's part of my value proposition that I'm offering you guys.
All righty, love it. And if you have any children, Gloria says she has a 1-year scholarship, a subscribership. If you have any children between the ages of 13 and 18, we're taking applications for BizCamp registration right now, and you can go over to, and I'm going to put it in the chat room. So if you want your children to be one of those kids that just sweeps a competition, then you want your kids to become sign up for BizCamp. It's a free camp that is through the Los Angeles Urban League. I am one of the instructors. My partner, Rhonda Santafort, is there as well. And we prepare your young people to be as entrepreneurs. And we don't just leave them on their own. We help actually get their businesses launched. So going over to the Los Angeles Urban League, that's laul.org, and sign up for BizCamp. And if you're a restaurant owner and you need some assistance to get ready to open up for the future, then go over to the Latino Restaurant Association.org and sign up for those classes. You might catch Gilbert over there doing his thing. And next Monday, I'm teaching a class for identifying your customers and your audience, your target audience, how to really define who your customers are. I'm doing that with the New Women's Business Center. So going over to them, I think it's WOR. Just Google the New Women's Business Center. They're out in the Valley, and I'm teaching that class over there. So it's been a great show. Thank you so much for Tanya and Greg and Gloria and Michelle, who have all joined us in on the chat. Felt like they were here. Tune in next week. We should have a guest. If not, we'll be doing what we do. If you want to be a guest on the show, let us know, and I can send you. You can wait. You can call me at 213-458-5952 press the option to get to sign up to be a guest on the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert, and you will get the information, and then we will schedule you for the show. I have the month of May open, and we'd love to have you as a show on the show. And that's all I got. That's all I got.
Sounds good to me, folks. We love you guys. Stay masked up. Don't take the pandemic for granted. Do your social distancing, even though in California it said that we're at code yellow. Code yellow means to be cautious. Be cautious. That's what yellow means. It doesn't mean go out there and mingle with people without your mask and not be safe. So
and if you're not doing that, I'm not gonna be seeing you for a while. So if y'all want to see me ever live again, y'all gonna have to be taking this stuff serious. So I want to be able to continue to live. I got a whole lot of stuff that I need to do.
Yeah.
So with that, guys, go over to our YouTube channel, subscribe, go to our Facebook page channel, and follow us in our Instagram and Twitter. And for that, Gilbert and I are out. Have a great weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, all the mothering listeners, all the aunties, all the sisters,
all the grandmas,
the grandmas, and all those surrogate moms that are out there. Have a fantastic day, but be safe while you're doing it. Make sure you're protecting your loved ones, especially our older loved ones. And we want them to be here for another Mother's Day. So with that, we're going to sign out. Gilbert's going to sign us out.
Be
and
safe.
We're off the air. So have a great one, guys.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.